There is a particular chill that seizes the chest when you realize you are completely alone. Scanning the room, colleagues, family, so-called friends, you notice the shift. Their smiles no longer reach their eyes. Conversations die the moment you enter. The atmosphere has changed. You are no longer one of them. You have become the target. Most men break in this situation. Human beings are built for tribe life, for consensus, for the safety that numbers provide. When the pack turns away, instinct screams at you to panic, to plead, to justify yourself, to desperately claw your way back into the warmth of the group. Do not do it. If you are feeling the weight of the world against you right now, this is not a mistake. This is a kind of initiation. You have activated the immune system of mediocrity. You have become a threat, which means you are finally doing something significant. Machiavelli, who wrote the definitive treatise on power, wrote it in hell. He was not sitting in a palace. He was exiled. He was stripped of his title, accused of conspiracy, thrown into a dungeon and tortured. His hands were bound behind his back, hoisted on ropes, then dropped until his shoulders dislocated. Everyone was against him. The state, the church, the Medici family, his former allies. He did not beg. He did not apologize. He went home, washed off the blood, sat down at a desk, and wrote The Prince. He transformed his exile into an empire that outlasted every man who had tortured him. You want to know how to win when the odds seem impossible? You want to know how to reverse the dynamic so that their hatred fuels your rise? I will show you. But you must be ready to abandon the need to be liked. Power is not a popularity contest. It is a function of physics. And right now, we are going to use the weight of the world to crush your enemies and build your throne. Part 1. Understand the mechanics of your situation. You are being attacked not because you are weak, you are being attacked because you have violated the group's unspoken contract. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, there is nothing more difficult to carry out, more dangerous to manage, or more uncertain of success than introducing a new order of things. When you begin to improve, when you start getting your finances in order, your body, your mind, you hold up a mirror to those around you. Your growth reflects their stagnation. Your discipline is an insult to their laziness. They do not hate you. They hate the light you shine on their failures. This is the crab bucket mentality. When one crab tries to escape, the others do not cheer. They grab its claws and drag it back down. If it persists, they break its shell. You are the crab that is climbing. Your mistake is trying to reason with the crabs. You try to explain your vision. You try to show them why you are changing. You believe that if they only understood, they would support you. Stop. They understand perfectly. That is why they are against you. To win, you must stop seeing their opposition as a tragedy. See it as a signal. If you were moving in the wrong direction, they would be comfortable around you. The fact that they are agitated is your confirmation. You are on your way to becoming exceptional. The friction you feel is the price of velocity. Accept this truth. You cannot bring them with you. The herd moves at the speed of its slowest member. The predator moves at the speed of its hunger. You must choose what you are. Part 2. The strategy of the void. When the world turns against you, your instinct is to make noise, to defend your name, to set the record straight. This is the trap. By arguing with the crowd, you confirm their power. You show them that their opinion can disturb your inner state. You pour your energy into a black hole. Machiavelli prescribed a different approach. When the Medici exiled him from Florence, he did not stand in the square shouting about injustice. He disappeared. He withdrew to his farm at Sant'Andrea. He went silent. This is the strategy of the void. When everyone is against you, you must remove the target. Become a ghost. Withdraw your presence, your voice, your energy. This achieves two things. First, it extinguishes the fire. Gossip, hatred, and opposition need fuel. They need your reaction, your drama. When you give them nothing, absolute cold silence, they have nothing left to burn. They begin to attack each other. Second, it creates a myth. While you are silent, you are not idle. You are working, you are building, but in the dark. Imagine the psychological terror inflicted on an enemy who strikes at you and receives nothing in return. No anger, no grief, no denial, just an empty gaze and then an absence. They begin to wonder, what does he know? Why isn't he afraid? What is he planning? The paranoia migrates from you to them. Use this time of isolation. The void is not empty space. It is a forge. When you are alone, stripped of allies, you are forced to rely on your own core. You stop seeking approval because there is no one to give it. You learn to draw strength from within. Look at 50 Cent. When he was blacklisted by the music industry, when he had been shot 9 times, when every label refused to sign him, he did not complain. He went to a basement, he recorded mixtapes, he flooded the streets with product, not promises. He built an army of fans before the industry even knew he was back. By the time they realized he was a threat, he was already king. If they exiled you, good. They locked you in a room with your potential. Do not leave until you have become a monster.
Part 3. Conceal your intentions. There will be times when you cannot disappear. You are trapped in an office with people who are trying to get you fired. You live in a house with family members who do not support you. You are on enemy territory. Here you must apply the most dangerous lesson Machiavelli ever taught. Conceal your intentions. In his Discourses on Livy, Machiavelli tells the story of Lucius Brutus. King Tarquin the Proud had killed Brutus's father and brother. Brutus was next. He had no power. If he had resisted, he would have died. If he had fled, he would have been hunted down. So Brutus pretended to be a fool. He acted slow, submissive, and harmless. He allowed the king to mock him. He allowed the court to laugh at him. He humiliated himself so thoroughly that he became invisible. He was no longer a threat. He was a pet. But behind the mask of the idiot, Brutus was watching. He was memorizing the king's weaknesses. He was waiting for the precise moment of instability. And when the king raped Lucretia and public outrage reached its peak, the fool threw off his mask, drew his sword, and led the revolution that overthrew the monarchy and founded the Roman Republic. He won because he was willing to look like a loser. Robert Greene calls this Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. When everyone is against you, do not put your ambitions on display. That is a target. Camouflage yourself in mediocrity. If your boss despises you, do not yet outshine him. Agree with him, flatter him, make him feel safe. If your family mocks your business, say, "You're right, it's just a small hobby, I'm not expecting much." Lower their guard, make them sheath their knives because they believe you are already defeated. There is a deep arrogance in this. You look at them and think, I am playing a role for your benefit, and you are too blind to see it. This is not cowardice, this is espionage. Gather intelligence, accumulate resources, and wait for the moment they look away. An arrow does not cry out before it strikes. Neither should you. Part 4. Become antifragile. Nassim Taleb, a modern philosopher who shares Machiavelli's unflinching realism, introduced the concept of antifragility. There are 3 types of things in the world. Fragile things that break under pressure, like a glass vase, robust things that withstand pressure, like a stone, and antifragile things that grow stronger under pressure, like hydra, like human muscle, like a trained mind. When everything is against you, stop trying to merely be robust. Survival is not enough. You must become anti-fragile. How? Use their attacks as data. Every time they criticize you, they expose a weakness in your armor. He's arrogant. Correction. I need to hide my pride more effectively. He doesn't know what he's doing. Correction. I need to raise my competence in area X. He's broke. Correction. I need to focus entirely on cash flow. Your enemies are your best auditors. Friends lie to protect your feelings. Enemies tell you the brutal truth because they want to hurt you. Remove the pain. Take the data. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must learn to be a fox, to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Your enemies are teaching you where the traps are. Moreover, being surrounded by enemies creates psychological pressure that forces you to develop faster. If you were comfortable, you would be lazy. The fact that they are hunting you means you must be faster, smarter, and more resourceful than them just to survive. They are forcing you to become elite. Thank them. Without the Joker, Batman is just a rich man in a costume. The villain creates the hero. Opposition creates the exceptional individual. Look at Apple. When Steve Jobs was fired from his own company, when the board, the investors, and the entire industry turned against him, he did not retire. He founded Next. He bought Pixar. He learned to manage. He learned patience. Those years of wandering did not break him. They turned him into the CEO who could return and build the most valuable company on earth. If he had stayed at Apple in 1985, comfortable and arrogant, he would have failed. The betrayal saved him. Part 5. Achieve total self-sufficiency. When the tribe rejects you, you confront a terrifying truth. No one is coming to save you. In the movies, the cavalry arrives. In reality, the cavalry is you. In Chapter 13 of The Prince, Machiavelli warns against relying on auxiliary forces, mercenaries, or powerful allies. If they lose, you are defeated. If they win, they are your prisoner. If you depend on someone else to rescue you from your enemies, you are simply trading one master for another. This period of isolation is your opportunity to achieve complete self-sufficiency. Financial autonomy. You need income that does not depend on a boss who despises you. Emotional autonomy. You need peace of mind that does not depend on a partner who doesn't understand you. Intellectual autonomy. You need ideas you have tested yourself, not downloaded from the crowd. This is sovereign thinking. When you need nothing from them, their power over you evaporates. Ask yourself why you care that they are against you. It is because you still need something from them: their approval, their money, their access, their love. Identify that need, then determine how to meet it independently or how to live without it entirely. The moment you can look at the crowd and say, "I do not need you to survive," you have won. You have cut the strings. You are no longer a puppet dancing to their disapproval. You are a free man, and the free man is the most dangerous thing in the world to a group of slaves. Part 6. Divide and dissolve. When you look at the people against you, you see a wall, solid, impenetrable opposition, a united front. This is an illusion. Machiavelli knew that no group is ever truly unified. They are held together by temporary interests. Right now, their shared purpose is you. The moment you cease to be a target, through the silence and the void we discussed earlier, the glue that binds them begins to dissolve. Without a common enemy, their internal fractures appear. Your task is not to fight the wall, but to find the weakest brick. In The Prince, Machiavelli advises a ruler to keep enemies divided. If you face a hostile group, a toxic department at work, a hostile family gathering, a circle of false friends, do not attack the group. Isolate the weakest link. There is always someone in the crowd who is less committed than the rest, the one who nods along out of fear of becoming the next target, the one who secretly envies the group's leader. Feed their ego. Plant a seed of doubt about the others. I heard the group's leader talking about you the other day. I defended you. You do not need to lie. You only need to surface fractures that already exist. When you pull one person to your side, you break the consensus. Suddenly, the crowd is not everyone, it's some people. That psychological shift destroys their momentum. They begin to quarrel. They begin to question each other's loyalty. Paranoia sets in. And while they're occupied with each other, they stop watching you. This is how you disband an army without firing a single shot. Part 7. The only revenge that works. Revenge is a natural human instinct. When someone hurts you, your biology screams for retribution. You want to expose them, confront them, make them feel the pain you felt. Suppress that instinct. It is primitive, chaotic, and usually backfires. If you attack them directly, you give them a story to tell. See, he's unstable, he's toxic, we were right to exclude him. You validate their version of events. The only revenge that works, the only revenge Machiavelli would approve, is total, undeniable victory. In military doctrine, there's a concept called overmatch, possessing such overwhelming capability that the enemy recognizes the futility of fighting. You must build a life so undeniably superior to theirs that their opinion of you becomes a joke. Consider this. Does the lion concern itself with the sheep's critique of its hunting technique? No. The gap in power is too great. Your goal is to widen that gap. While they gossip, you train. While they spend every Friday in the same bar complaining about the same boss, you build additional income. While they age, you get stronger. This is the Count of Monte Cristo strategy. Edmond Dantès was imprisoned, forgotten, and erased. He did not cry out. For years, he studied, found treasure, and reinvented himself as a count. When he returned, he did not merely defeat his enemies. He bought their banks. He bought their secrets. He dismantled their lives with a smile. And they did not know it was him until the very end. You must become the count. Let them have their small victories today. Let them have their office politics, their petty feuds. You are playing a different game. A game of decades, not days. 6 months of deep focus can put you 5 years ahead of the average person. Imagine reappearing a year from now. New income, new body, new mindset, new tax bracket, and treating them with an expression of absolute polite indifference. That will hurt them more than any blow, because it will prove that their opposition did not stop you. It did not even slow you down. They were, in fact, irrelevant. Part 8. Love the resistance. You must make one final psychological shift. Stop wishing things were easier. Stop wishing they would treat you well. Learn to love the hatred. The Stoics called this Amor Fati, love of fate. Not merely accepting what happens, but embracing it as the raw material of your greatness. If everyone is against you, the universe is testing you. That is a compliment. A pilot does not hate the headwind that resists the aircraft's climb. He uses that resistance to generate lift. Without a headwind, the plane cannot fly. Your enemies are your headwind. Every time they say you cannot, they hand you the fuel to say just watch. Every time they exclude you, they give you the solitude you need to work. Every time they betray you, they teach you wisdom. Machiavelli was stripped of his diplomatic status. Had that not happened, he would have remained a mid-level civil servant in Florence, forgotten by history. By destroying his career, they forced him to become a philosopher. They created their own worst nightmare, a man whose ideas would expose their games for the next 500 years. When you view your enemies through this lens, you stop being the victim and become the predator. You look at them and think, "Thank you, you are making me dangerous." This is the ultimate power move. When you can look at the person trying to destroy you and feel genuine gratitude for the lesson they are teaching you, you become untouchable. They cannot hurt you because you are converting the pain into power. You are the alchemist. They throw lead at you and you turn it into gold. Eventually, the situation will shift. It always does. When you survive the winter, when you build the business, get in shape, prove your idea, suddenly the same people who were against you will begin to drift back. "I always knew you could do it. We were just worried about you. Hey, can you help me with?" They will try to rewrite history. They will pretend they were on your side all along. This is the final test. Do not fall for it. Machiavelli warned, people are so simple and so ready to obey immediate necessity that the one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. Do not be the deceived one. You may forgive them, of course. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison. But you must never forget. You have established a new law, a new standard of access. Those who were there when things were hard earn a seat at the table. Those who held the shovel and tried to bury you, let them stand outside. You are not cruel, you are simply the curator of your own reality. You have learned that access to your energy is a privilege. You have learned that loyalty is rare. You have learned that most people are fair-weather friends, lovers of sunshine only. You are the storm. This video is educational in nature. The goal is not to harm others or to manipulate them, but to better understand social dynamics, to protect your boundaries, and to make more conscious decisions. Use these ideas ethically and with respect for others.